Hi there, my name's Andy Hillier and today's guitar lesson is going to be on Gustave by Lorien Testard from Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. It's a beautiful little song. It's all like strings and pianos and lots of instruments, but I've arranged it for solo guitar. If you want to hear what it sounds like played all the way through, I've done a separate video, cover version of it. Check that out. I'm going to teach you the whole song. It's going to be quite a long video, this one, because we've got 3 pages of music to learn. But I'm going to teach you the whole thing. But just before I do, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, which is Andy Hillier, give me a like on the video, press that notification bell so you can see when my new videos come out. And I'd love to hear from you, so please leave me a comment in the comment section, even if it's just to say hi. It helps the video get some more views, but I'd love to know where in the world you're watching this from. If you've played the game, any other songs that you'd like me to do, and if you love what I'm doing, you want to support me, support the channel, keep me doing this, and you want to print the tabs off for this and loads of other songs, then I'll put it on my Patreon page. A link to that is in the description. My guitar is in standard tuning. I'm playing it on an acoustic guitar. It would be lovely on a classical guitar. It'd work nice on an electric guitar. Any type of guitar would be fine. Okay, first line, easiest line ever. Sounds like this. So we start on E14, lasts for a whole bar. The tempo is like 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2, 3, 4. Then it goes to B12. Up to E15, and then B14 for 2 beats, and then B10. So the whole line, 1, 2, 3, 4. On to the second line, and we've got this. So into bar 5 then, the first chord is kind of like a B5 chord, so first finger A2, third finger D4, little finger G4, and you just play those 3 strings. Each of these chords lasts for a bar. Into bar number 6, move your first finger down to B2, leave your third finger D4, little finger on G4, and your second finger is going to go up here onto E3. And you play the E, the D, the G, and the B strings. So that's kind of a G major 7 flat 5 chord. Into bar 7, we've got an E minor chord, open E with D2, open G, and open B. Bar 8, I've got this F sharp minor chord. I'll put in my third finger flat across D, G, and the B strings at the 2nd fret. Second finger over the top onto E2. So you play E2, D2, G2 and B2. So the first 4 bars of that line go. Bar 9 is the same as bar 5. Bar 10 is the same as bar 6. Bar 11 changes slightly. We're going to play open E with D2, open G and B3, so kind of E minor 7. And then bar 12, you play. It doesn't matter what fingers you use on this really. I'm using my second finger E2, my third finger on G2, little finger on B2, and I'm also playing that open E string. So you can play it first, second, and third fingers, or second, third, and fourth fingers. Absolutely fine. Okay, so let's play the whole line. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, on to the next line. We've got this. So bar 13, I'm playing A2 with E2 nearest to the floor and B3 all at the same time. Lasts for 3 beats. So 1, 2, 3, and then you play the E string nearest to the floor. So it goes. Into the next bar, I play E3 nearest to your face with open G and B strings. So bars 13 and 14 go. Into bar 15, we've got, which is open E with open G and B3. Then play E nearest to the floor, then B3. Into bar 16, we play E2 with G2 and B2. So the first 4 bars of that line then go. Into the next bar, bar 17, same as bar number 13. Bar 18 is the same as bar 14. And then bar 19 slightly different, we just play the open E with open G and B3. And then bar 20 is the same as bar 16. So it's almost like doing the same thing, it just hasn't got that extra E, B3. Okay, so the whole line then, 1, 2, 3, 4. And on to the next line we've got. So bar 21, we've got A2 and D4 at the same time. Then play D2, D. Into the next bar, go back to D4 and play an E3 at the same time. It's nearest your face. Then D2, D4. So you got. Then you're going to play into bar 23, open E and open G strings. Then D4, then D2 with E2 nearest to your face. So the first 4 bars of that line go. And then the next bar is the same, so bar 25 is the same as 21. Bar 26 changes slightly, we play E3 and D4, then G, D4, into bar 27, got open E and D2, then open D, D2, and then E2 and A4 to finish off. So the whole of that line. On to the next line, and we've got this. So we're on the G and the B strings all through this. So starting off with fret 7 on G and B, and then B5 and G6, B3 and G4, back to B7 and G7. So, and then we play B5 and G6, back to 7 on the B and G strings. Then B8 and G9, back to both of the strings at fret 7, and then B5 and G6. So slowly, the first 4 bars of that line go. And then into bar 33, both of those strings at fret 7, then 5 and 6, 3 and 4, then back to fret 7. So it's all on the same string. So up to B8 and G9, then back to fret 7 on both of those. B5 and G6, B3 and G4, back up to B5 and G6, then down to B2 and G3. Okay, so the whole line. On to the next line, and it's exactly the same as the second line that we played, so it should be all right. It sounds like this. So exactly the same as the second line that we did, bars 5 through to 12. So I won't go over that again. It's exactly the same. On to the next line then. So for this, we're going to play A2 and the B string. Then we play B2, B3, E, E2, E, B3, B2, back to B3 in the next bar, and we play E3 nearest to your face. So slowly it's... Up speed. Into bar 47, we're going to play the E string and the B. Then B2, B3, E, B2, B3, E, E2, and then B2 with E2 nearest to your face. So 47 and 48 slowly. So the whole line slowly will go. And up to speed. And that line repeats, you play it twice. On to the next line, and we've got a key change. It all kind of goes up a tone, and we sound like this. So bar 49, we've got A4 and D6. We then play D4, D2, back to D6, but this time we're going to play an E5 at the same time. So it goes. We then play D4, D6, up to G2, and we're going to play an E2 nearest to your face as well. Then G1. And then E4 nearest your face and D4. So the first 4 bars of that line go. And then into bar 53, it's the same as bar 49. So you've got, and then into bar 54, we've got, which is E5 and D6, D7, D6, and then E2 and D4, D2, D4, and then play E6, E4 and A6, sorry, in bar 56. So the whole line. On to the next line from bar 57, we go. So all on the E string nearest to the floor, and then the B string as well. So E4, B5, then E2, B4, open E, B2, back to E4 and B5. So it goes. Then E2, B4, E4, B5, into bar 59, and we go E5 and B7, E4 and B5, then E2 and B4. So 57, 58, 59, 60, go. Bar 56, E4 and B5, then E2 and B4, open E and B2, E4 and B5, E5, B7, E4 and B5, E2 and B4, open E and B2, back up to E2 and B4. And then this last bar, bar 64, goes B4 and G5. So the whole of that line goes. And on to the next line where we have so A4 and then E4 nearest to the floor, then B2, back to the E4, into bar 66. We're going to play the A string with E2, B2 and G2 all at the same time. Then play E2 nearest to your face, then E2 nearest to the floor, then E, back to E2, and then in bar 68 we're going to play E4 with D4, G4 and B4. So the first 4 bars of that line. Bar 69 is the same as bar 65. And 70 is the same as bar 66. Then bar 71 changes, goes. So D4, then E5, E7, back to E5, then first finger flat across E4, B4 and G4, and then third finger on D6 in bar 72 there. So the whole line. Now the next line starts the same, so the first 4 bars, actually the first 6 bars are the same. So you got and then bar 79 changes, it goes. So for that, bar 79, third finger D4, first finger flat across G4, G2 and B2, and little finger on E5. And then just move that up 2 frets in bar 80. So the whole line. And on to the next line when we're just over halfway through now, I suppose. We've got this. So bar 81, I've got A4 with D2 and B2. Then B4 into the next bar, up to B5 with G2, D2 and the A string. Middle 4 strings there. Then B4, B5. And then I'm just using my first finger barred at the 2nd fret. And I play E2 with G2, B2 and E2 nearest to the floor. Then B5, and then E with D4, G4 and B4. So first 4 bars of that line go. Into bar 85, and we've got this. So the first chord there in bar 85 is first finger barred at the 4th fret, second finger on the B5, third finger or little finger on G6. So play the A4, the D6, B5 and the E4 nearest to the floor at the same time. Then E2, then E, and it's just an A chord, so open A with D2, G2 and B2. Then B4, E, and then the same as what we did in bar 83, just bar your first finger on the 2nd fret in bar 87. Play the bottom 3 strings and the top string. Then E4, E5, and then those same strings on fret 4. Then E2. So that line. Into bar 89. We're playing this C sharp minor chord. First finger barred on the 4th fret, second finger B5, little finger on G6. Then E2, back to E4 with B2, G2 and the A string. Then E2, E4, up to E5, and I'm barring my first finger because I'm going to play E2, G2, B2 and that E5 at the same time. Then E4, then E4 nearest to your face, and then open E string nearest to the floor. And then B4 and G4 at the same time. So bar 89, 90, 91 and 92 go. Slight mistake there, but I'm sure you worked it out. And then the next two bars, A4 with D2 and B2. Then another B2, open A with G2, B2 and E nearest to the floor. Then E2 with D2, G2 and B2. And then the next bar, E2 with B4, G4 and E4 nearest to your face. So that line goes. And then on to the next line, which is the third page, if you've printed this off from my Patreon page. And we have this. Okay, so starting with this C sharp minor chord again, A4, E4, B5 and G6. Then E2, back to E4 with B2, G2 and A. Then up to E5, then E7. And then you can do the same shape as the first chord but at the 9th fret. So A9, E9 nearest to the floor, B10 and G11. Then play E11, and then E12 with B12 and A11. And then we go down to E11. So first 4 bars of that line. Into bar 101. Bar your first finger on the 9th fret, play the E9, G9, B9 and E9. Then B12. And then we're going to play the open A string with D11, G9 and B10. Then play E9. And then a bit of a stretch. We've got A9 and E14. Then A11 and E16. So it goes. If you struggle to do both of those, just do one of them. Either one, whichever you prefer. So the whole of that line will go. And on to the next line. Now this is similar to another line that we've done. It goes. So A4 and D6, then D4, D2, D6 with E5, then D4, D6, E2 and G2, then G1, E4 and D4. So we've done this already, so I won't spend too much time on it. So it's. And then into bar 109. A4 and D6, D4, D2, D6 with E5, D7, D6, then E2 and D4, D2, D4, then E4 and A6. There's an E2 at the end. So the whole line. And the next line, we're getting through it, we're almost there. So for this A4, I'm using my third finger, little finger on E4 nearest to the floor. Then E, E2, E4, E, E2, and then back to E4 with an open A string. Then E2. Go. Then E2 and E5 nearest to the floor. B4, B5, E2, I'm just doing that with my first finger barred. Then B4, B5, B7 and A4 at the same time, and then E4. Bar 117 is the same as 113. And the next bar starts the same with A and E4, and then a B4, so it changes slightly there. And then 119 goes. So E5 and B5, B4, B5, E2, B4, B5, B7 with an E4, and then a G5 on the end there. So the whole line. And the next line, 3 lines to go. We've got so bar 121, A4 and G6, then open A and B4, B7, little slide down to E2 with D2 and G2. We then play E2, hold that on, and then into the next bar, play E4 nearest to your face, and then play the E string nearest to the floor. So you got. And then A4 and B4, A and B5, B4, B5, then E2 with E2 nearest to the floor and B2, E4, and then the last chord there is E4 with D6 and G5. So the whole line. And the next line, penultimate line here. So A4 and G6, open A and B4, B7, then down to E2 with D2 and G2, then B5, then E4 and D6, into bar 133, and we've got A4 and D4, into bar 134 we've got E5 and A6, then A4, then E2 and D4, G1, and then finishing off with this E4 and A3. So the whole line. And on to the last line where we've got this. So A4 and B2, then B4, E, nearest to the floor, E2, E4, E2, E, then B4, back to an E string where you play the open A string as well, so. And up speed. Into bar 139, we're going to play E2 and B2, B4, B5, E2, B4, B5, E2, E4, and then B4 and E4 nearest to your face. So those two bars. And those 4 bars repeat twice, so they sound like this. And then bar 141, we just finish on a C sharp minor chord. A2 with B5, D6 and G6. And that's the whole song. Well, very well done if you've got all the way through this video up to this point, because it's been a long one. Bit epic, 141 bars. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you have, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, which is Andy Hillier, do the usual, give me a like on the video, leave me some comments in the comment section. I'd love to know where in the world you're watching this from. I'd love to know what songs I should do next. And if you want the tabs for this and you love what I'm doing, you want to support me, support the channel, then I'll put them on my Patreon page. I've got loads of tabs, more from the game as well. So go and check that out. Patreon page, link to that is in the description. Well, thanks for watching this. I do really appreciate it. I've been Andy Hillier, and I'll see you next time.